Daily Chumash for Tuesday.
Shlishi.
Pasuk K, verse 5. Agam Lloyd Telechlas Avram. Lloyd was traveling with Avram. Hayatzin Avakar Vailim also had sheep, goat, cattle, and tents. Telechlas Avram was traveling with Avram. Who caused that he had all this wealth? Lloyd was traveling with Avram. Why are you telling me this? Because it's telling you how Lot became wealthy, because he traveled with Avram. Vav, Lloyd no say Samar the of the pasture of the land was not enough for them to dwell together. Because they had a birth, a large amount of property. And they're not able to dwell together. Rashi, Lloyd no say some, the land cannot bear them. The land cannot provide sufficient pasture for all their livestock. It's an abbreviated phrase, and a word must be added to it. That the pasture of the land could not bear them. Not the land, the pasture of the land. Here it says nasa in masculine because aretz, I guess, is more of a feminine noun. Pasture, mira is a masculine noun. So that's why the verb is the verb of nasa is in the Zion. The quarrel broke out between the herdsmen of Avram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And the Kanani, the Prizi, were thus dwelling on the land. Avram then said to Lot, please let there not be any friction between me and you. For you and me are relatives. Ches. Zion. Avram said to Lot, there should not be any friction between me and you, between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are relatives. Okay. Anoshimachim. We are brothers. Here, brothers means relatives. The Medrash explains it means they actually looked like brothers. They had similar facial features. Cluster upon it. So Avram said, is not the whole land before you? Separate from me. Now, if you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Rashi. If we go to the left, I'll go to the right.
You missed a Rashi for Zion.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. A quarrel broke out between, thank you, back to Rashi Zion. A quarrel broke out between Lot and Avram, the shepherds. The shepherds of Lot were wicked, and they would shepherd their animals in other people's fields. The shepherds of Avram protested this. They would say, the land was given to Avram. And to him there's no heir, and Lot is his heir. This is not considered theft. And the pasuk says though, the Kanani Prisi were sitting in the land. And Avram had no possession yet. They were saying, well, one day it's going to go to Avram and Lot's the heir. So, but it's not right because Lot wasn't Avram. It says the Kanani was in the land. Right now, it was the Kanani. You're stealing. Okay, now test Rashi. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. Wherever you settle, I will not go far from you, and I will stand by you for protection and assistance. In the end, he indeed needed him, as it says, Avram heard that his relatives had been captured. He's saying, look, I'll be close by your right. Emina means I will direct myself to the right. As it says, Vasmila, I will direct myself to the left. If you say it should say V'aimina with a patach, it's okay to do a tzere. You could do You actually would do a tzere. Im yesh lehemin leinok laham. Yud. Ayis, like this, and of light, raised his eyes, Yaris, Kal Kigaretz, he saw the whole plain of the Yarden. Kichula Mashke, it was all well irrigated. Lefnei Shach, Hashem Mistei Mesamayda, Mikan Hashem, Eretz Yisraim, Vayechat Seir. Before Hashem destroyed Stem and Amayra, it was like before the destruction, it was beautiful. It was like the garden of Hashem, and like the land of Egypt, well irrigated, which reached as far as Tzoar, Rashi. It was well irrigated. Kikula Mashke means Eretz Nachlemaim, a land of water streams. Before Hashem destroyed Sodom and Amorah, that plain was like the garden of Hashem with regard to the quality of its trees, and like the land of Egypt with regard to the quality of its plants. So in trees is the Garden of Eden. Egypt was good for plants. Okay.
This is like an unexpected. Whoever is, we haven't yet heard about Sodom and Gomorrah,
Did we?
right? Yeah. We haven't. That hasn't happened yet.
I don't know.
This is just like a look.
This is when he chooses it. This is why he's choosing it. This is the first time we're talking about this. This is why Light moved there. It went as far as Tzair. Medrash says this is like a discredit to Light. That he went there because they were shtufei zima, they were steeped in immorality. That's why he chose them. And so because these terms, that lifting his eyes is an expression that we see by Potiphar's wife. She lifted her eyes. The term kula mashke, kikar somehow is a word that denotes immorality. Kula mashke refers to the sota, the woman is suspected in infidelity. And shaches is representing to Onein's perverse behaviors. So all the words here represent Light's choosing it because of the immorality of it. Which, by the way, say something slightly. I think it's I don't know if it's controversial, but one of the reasons I think the Rebbe wrote, or many others wrote, I think as well, of why is the mind, the academic mind, what's the allure of atheism? The lure,
It's empowering to the self.
it allows, if there's no God, there's no rules.
Right.
Meaning there's a certain attraction to make God irrelevant, even if it makes sense to you, because once there's no God, you can do anything. Meaning, I'm just saying with Lot here, and not everybody makes that conscious choice, but the human desire for pleasure-seeking behavior, and sometimes pleasure-seeking behavior that is beyond, let's say, the pale of what was considered, like morality. There's a certain desire for that, and that desire can rationalize a lot of other things. Can do away with, don't give me God, everything's allowed. Just saying. Who said that? Nietzsche? Like some philosopher said, if there's no God, everything's permitted. Very simple, point blank. Is Voltaire one of those guys? I don't know.
Who's that?
Some non-Jewish philosopher. Yud Aleph, Vayivchal Eloites Kol Kikar Yardin. I'm just saying that many people claim to be scientific and intellectual, with whether they're realizing it or not, that they're really being led by their desires, and the rationalization and the intellect is not objective.
But this is really attaching a lot of negative to something that's really pretty innocent. I mean, he's just the Torah is just telling us it's better, more arable land. It's good for
Yeah.
farming. That's the same thing.
That's Rashi's first take. It's nice, good land.
Yeah. So what's the problem? I mean, there's no
So why does
nothing wrong
Rashi
with
feel he wants?
preferring good land. I mean, you can't. Why make that into something evil? It's
My guess.
Reuben and Gad, for example, did the same thing, and when Joseph
Right.
sent his brothers to
Good point.
Goshen, it's good land.
I think the difference is Reuven and Gad and Yosef's brothers don't have a sequel in their story of perverse behavior.
We know in retrospect.
Well, I'm saying it's foreshadowing, meaning I think Rashi is just telling you this because my guess is it's foreshadowing. It's foreshadowing what is to come, of why that it wasn't like unsuspecting went to this beautiful place with a bunch of 1950s, prudish people, and surprise, there was this underworld that he got swept up into. No, he knew what he was getting into, and he chose to go there. I think that's the point. It's interesting because Lot is this like really interesting character, right? Lot, and probably the Talmud Chumash probably has a intro essay on him. Lot is like an interesting. He's like kind of like a monotheist, which is he's like a good guy. Like he believes in hospitality, God, something, but at the same time he wants a good life. He wants to enjoy himself. He wants to hang out in the Oak Hill Country Club, he wants to. It's very much like today, right? People that are, all of us, people were conflicted.
But Rabbi, let me jump in for Alan here and say that we will learn he's not such a great guy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Michael's question was. Why does Rashi giving us the midrash that is not literal, that it wasn't just a great piece of land? Like it says it's a great piece of land. So
yeah, but as I say, we learn once he moves to Sodom and Gomorrah, which in and of itself is questionable.
That's saying already. That's exactly the point.
Okay.
Choice,
yes.
that explains why Rashi is telling us this, because we should know that I think it highlights how Lot already was corrupted.
Aha.
He has some saving grace. In many ways, he's like a kid who
is just telling us what the Mefarshim.
Medrash, yeah.
Yeah.
But Rashi's doing it because it'll help explain the context in the regular narrative.
It fits.
It helps, right? Rashi does not throw midrash around for the heck of it. It'll only do if it's useful for the basic narrative to understand. I mean, the truth is, I'm not giving this enough attention. There's probably a question here. The Rebbe would say, look at what's bothering Rashi that he had to say it. Like, it's not just like, it's nice to say, like, what's bothering him? So,
I mean, referring to good land can be innocent or it can be not so innocent.
I think maybe what's bothering Rashi is the flowery language of how great this land was. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. Because telling you this is part of his choice to go to a sinful place. Maybe. Yet Aleph. Light shows himself the whole Kikar plain. And Light journeyed from the east. And Light journeyed there from the east. Thus they separated from each other. Light chose for himself the Kikar plain of the Yarden, and Light journeyed from there, from the east. Okay. And they split up, man, from his brother. Rashi, Kikar means a Mishar, plain. Kitar Gumai, as Uncle says. Mikedem, he went from the east, simply because Avram was the east. He went from the east where Avram was, and he went west. Comes out, he was traveling from east to west. The Midrash Agada What Rashi again? He's not satisfied with the basic, and he says, why are you telling me that he's going from east to west? It seems to me we would sort of know that maybe. You just read the story thus far. The answer is to tell you a negative discredit to Lot, that he was leaving the Kadmono Shalom, a term from God, the one who preceded the world. And he said, Yevchi le b'Avram le b'Elokov. I do not want Avram, nor do I want his God.
Oi.
Bez. Avram Yoshev, Avram dwelt in the land of Canaan. Lloyd Yoshev Arei Kikar. Lloyd dwelt in the towns of the Kikar. Vayel ad Stoim, and he set up his tents as far as Sodom. Vayel, he set up his tents. He pitched tents for his shepherds and for his cattle throughout the district as far as Sodom. Yeah. Yud Gimel. The people of Sodom are evil and sinful against God. Hashem very much. Rashi. Even so, Lloyd did not refrain from dwelling with them. That you learn from here, the reason they're telling you they're wicked, the same sodomites are called bad people, the bad sodomite people, the bad man, the name of the wicked should rot. When you mention a bad person, you say Yimach Shemai. Right? You say, cursed be their name. Royim begufim, they were evil with their bodies, they were immoral, as we said earlier, steeped in immorality, perverse behavior. B'chatoyim, and they were sinful b'mayim with their money. Hashem moed against Hashem very much. So we find the term Yoidim Libainam Skamler, but they knew God and they intended to spite him.
Right.
A term used by Nimrod. Price, I'm guessing it's similar language. They were evil to God. Like being evil is evil to God. Right? Evil to God. That was to spite God. Idalit. Hashem Amar Avram. Hashem said to Avram, Achri pardon me after Lloyd. After Lloyd separated from him, Hashem said, lift up your eyes and see the place that you are now, you are there. It's a fine of an egma, north, south, east, west. Rashi. After Lloyd separated, as long as the wicked one was with Avram, the word of God was kept from him. Interesting. We see that Hashem did appear to Avram at one point. In Yud Bei Zayin. We say in the Sunday, we said, I'll give this land to your descendants. Right, when he left. So that time he was still good. It was still good. But then when Avram went to Egypt, it says in the bottom that in Egypt, he learned from their perverse behavior there. He developed an appetite because Egypt was very immoral. Lot was with them, yeah. So just connecting the dots. I mean, it's similar language, steeped in immorality, the same term as Egypt. So that's where he started getting corrupted. Okay, Yudalid. Hashem Amar Avram, Hashem said to Avram, I'm sorry, he did that. Tesvav. For the entire land that that you see at Nena Lazar Chadilam, I'll give to you in your descendants forever. Tazayin, Visamti Zaracha Kafar Aretz, I will make your descendants as numerous as the dust of the earth. Hashem Yuchel Ishlam Sav Aretz, if it were possible for someone to count the dust of the earth, Kam Zaracha Yimana, your descendants could also be counted. Tazayin. Just like it's impossible for dust to be counted, so to your descendants are not counted. Arise and walk the land, for the land of its length and width. For you I will give it. Avram said tents, and he settled in the Mamre's plain. By even Shem's he built an altar to Hashem. Mamre is the name